Now, Star Wars fans, Matt Haywood here from the SWTS to bring you a recap and review of the latest Darth Vader comic from Marvel, which is number 16, Target Skywalker. Alright, so if you've been following along with these things, every Star Wars comic right now is crossing over into the War of the Bounty Hunters miniseries, and this issue is no different. But first, it starts with Darth Vader being the galaxy's worst father by talking force shit to Luke about him never being his real dad. And of course, you get some great visuals in here of Vader messing up Luke's surrogate father. So yeah, Vader is maintaining his father of the galaxy creds quite expertly in this issue. So anyways, we get a little bit of rehash stuff that has popped up in a few of the other War of the Bounty Hunters crossover comics. We have learned that Han Solo is in an Imperial transport. Luke was supposed to help get Vader distracted so Leia and them could save Han, but he pussed out, and instead he wanted to play tag with his dad. So essentially Leia, Chewie, and Lando, they're on their own to try and rescue Han, as Luke is trying to take Vader out of the picture by going on a game of Starfighter tag with him. Alright, but unfortunately for Luke, we also know the Hutts are a little angry right now because the Empire technically stole their auction win in the Carbonite Han Solo block. So Boku has essentially sent the entire Hutt fleet there, and they see Luke showing up, and you know, they're scoundrels, they're smugglers, they're a little scummy, and they want his T-65. So they shoot it with these like grappling hook things, and just as it looks like Luke is going to get reeled in by the Hutts, old dad shows up and says, "No, you're not going to take my son. I want to shoot him. You can't have him. I get to kill him. He is my flesh and blood." So yeah, Vader just starts waylaying Luke right here in their game of tag, which is turning into essentially a game of abuse. Alright, so Vader succeeds in shooting down Luke. Yes, they weren't just playing around like Luke thought. I mean, he was trying to kill him, it seems like. So he crashes back down to the planet, and, you know, things are looking kind of dire for young Skywalker. But, you know, he's like, hey, I'm a Skywalker. I can use the Force. I blew up the Death Star. I'm going to try and shoot at Darth Vader with a pistol. So, great idea there, Luke. But luckily for him, in the background, some of the plotting and scheming that these characters have been making, either with Vader or with themselves or with other factions that have been introduced throughout this Vader run, we start to see that Vader's deal with Boku's going a bit sideways. Sly Moore has got other plans for Vader. In fact, she just straight up betrays him with the Droid Crush pirates. Yep, these guys have come back. This is like their third or fourth appearance in the Vader run this year. But she's using them to take out Vader, or to try and take out Vader. So, you know, you should learn a lesson from this comic, my friends. If you dabble in darkness, you can never have a true ally. Because, you know, Vader's tried to team up with Sly, he's tried to team up with Boku, and while he was going to screw them all over in the end, they're trying to screw him over before he can do the screwing. It's just like masterclass in villainy right now. But because they're villains and because they can't just focus on a goal, they're probably going to let the good guys get away in the end. So anyways, because of her betrayal, Ochi starts to fight her. And, you know, they have a good little fight. She holds her ground. Again, she, like I said, in past videos, I believe she's got a little bit of a Force connection. She definitely can do the mind trick. But like I said, she holds her own physically against Ochi, and even gives him a good little stab. And we learn that she's also using the Droid Crush pirates to help Luke. So not only did she try to take out Vader's shuttle, but she also sent some to repair Luke's X-Wing. Because, again, she knows why Vader wants to take Luke out. because if the Emperor gets Luke, then Vader's useless, and there you go. So she's taking advantage of this opportunity to try and get rid of Vader by double-crossing him and helping out his son. Alright, but it is Vader, so he shakes the droid crush. He starts shooting down the other ones that are helping Luke. It was kind of funny, Luke had these rear gunners. The droid stuck to his X-Wing, but, Vader on the tail, best pilot in the galaxy, probably is not going to save you from his wrath. So anyways, like I said, these two keep fighting. Sly holds her own. They're just talking shit to each other, because, again, they're pawns, too, in this whole Vader plot. But for now, Ochi is still fighting for Vader. Or at least trying to, because she kind of kicks his ass. But Ochi, he calls up to Boku, like, hey man, can you help me out? And this is where Boku's like, yeah, good luck. We're turning on you too, because we're bad guys, you're a bad guy, and that's what bad guys do. So Ochi calls up to Vader and lets him know, like, hey, the Umbaran's screwing you over and Sly Moore, but I also have to tell you about the Hutts, because now they are circling Solo in the Imperial shuttle, and things are about to get squirrely. And that's where things end. So, it progressed the Vader and Luke plot a bit, but it didn't really move along the War of the Bounty Hunters thread that was left for us in War of the Bounty Hunters number 4, which I'd like you to check out after you watch this video. So here we are. Dad is still chasing or hunting his son. Han is seemingly cornered. The rebels are fried. The bounty hunters are fried. So all this is coming to a head. War of the Bounty Hunters will be wrapping up in October. So the last few crossover issues of Vader, of Star Wars, Aphra, Bounty Hunters, and whatnot should also be nearing their offerings towards the miniseries. So it was all right. I mean, it wasn't the best issue of Vader, and things still didn't progress quick enough for my liking. But there were some fun twists and turns in there with Sly and the Droid Crush. And, of course, getting to see Vader behind the yoke of his TIE is always fun, especially when he's trying to kill his son. All right, everyone, thanks for checking it out. If you like this video, or if you just like Star Wars podcasts, we'd love for you to subscribe to the Star Wars Time Show on YouTube. So go ahead and hit that button, hit the like, comment if you will, and don't forget to join in with the live stream every Tuesday where we deliver our weekly Star Wars-centric podcast. There's always time for Star Wars time. And remember, if you listen to the Star Wars Time Show, the Force will be with you always.